everybody. This is Carol Maletta. Welcome to the Parenting 411 podcast, where we share information parents need from sources they can trust. Welcome, everyone, to another episode of the Parenting 411 podcast. Today, we're going to explore a topic that every parent has to face eventually, and that's the teenage years. Now, if you listen to contemporary wisdom, you might expect me to chime in with a sigh and say something like, well, you just have to pray and it'll be over soon. But I'm here to offer you a different perspective, one rooted in science, years of research and training as a parent educator, but also with empathy, because I'm a parent too, a parent of twin sons. Before we get started, I want to bust the biggest myth about this, that the teen years have to be a battle because your teens think they know it all, and you'll just have to wait for it to pass. Why is this thinking so common? Maybe you heard it from friends who have older children, maybe from family, maybe you've heard it in the media, but is this actually true? As a mom myself, I harbored those fears too. I imagined a version of my home where every conversation was going to be a standoff. But what surprised me most is this, that those years, as challenging as they were also filled with opportunities to build deeper connection with my children. So let's ground ourselves in what science tells us. The teen years are, in fact, marked by hormonal changes, something even more profound. Major rewiring of the brain. Reputable studies from neuroscientists like Dr. Lawrence Steinberg and Dr. Frances Jensen reveal that the teen brain is in a unique state of development, very similar to the rapid growth that they experienced when they were toddlers. Their prefrontal cortex, the part responsible for decision-making and self-control, is still under construction and will be until they're close to 26 years old. According to research in developmental neuroscience, adolescence is one of the most challenging periods in a person's life. Teens experience emotional highs and lows far more intensely than we adults do, and they need parents to lean in, not pull away. Studies published in journals like Child Development show that responsive, supportive parenting during adolescence leads to stronger emotional regulation and better long-term outcomes for young adults. So, let's say your teen comes in with a cloud hanging over his head, slamming doors, maybe even yelling. It would be easy to feel attacked. But this is the brain under construction, struggling to manage the big feelings that they're dealing with. Your job isn't to add fuel to the fire, but to be that steady, compassionate presence that can help diffuse the situation.
Hey there, are you trying to help your teen stay organized? Well, I've got a versatile, smart, and stylish solution for you. It's this jewelry organizer at Kohl's, and I've got to tell you, it's not just for necklaces and earrings. It's perfect for students and busy families who have stuff they need to organize. So whether your teen is heading off to college or you're looking just to clean up and get things together at home, this organizer can, of course, stash jewelry. But hey, how about school supplies, toiletries? It can even function as a quick grab first aid kit. I actually made one for my own family when my children were younger, and we were always prepared for those bumps and bruises. And let me tell you, we still use it. So if you're ready to simplify your space, just click the link to get yours.
So what if we flip the script? What if instead of bracing ourselves for battle, we saw these years as a last crucial opportunity to impart some critical life values and build a lifelong relationship with your child? When parents view adolescence through a lens of compassion and even curiosity, family life transforms. Now, I'm not talking about a soft, permissive approach because boundaries are still vital. But when you approach your teen with understanding, you're giving them the support their developing brains desperately need. Now, multiple long term studies have found that teens who feel emotionally connected to their parents are more likely to thrive in school, socially, and emotionally. They enter adulthood equipped with a healthier mindset, self discipline, and the tools they need to meet life's challenges head on. So, I can share a story from my own parenting journey. There was a time when one of my sons came to me with a big decision involving his school experience. He no longer wanted to play high school basketball. And over his years, I was watching him and his brother play, and in their game improved, and my interest even in the game was renewed. And I even learned how to play. So naturally, I wanted to jump in and have him pump the brakes. I wanted to dissuade him. But instead, I listened. I really listened. And what he had to say was that he had lost some of his enthusiasm for the game. He also felt that the games and practices had gotten in the way of his schoolwork. He played for a very competitive program. He had a heavy load of honors and advanced courses. And while he was already doing reasonably well, he really knew he could do better. And so, starting fresh in junior year without basketball in his schedule, not only did he start to earn top grades, he and a group of his friends, some of whom had also left the basketball team, decided to play basketball for fun in our local recreational league. And it was just such a joy to see them out there on the court, smiling, laughing, just enjoying the game on its own merits. And guess what? They would go on to win the championships. And so that small act of letting him take the lead in solving his own problem made a huge difference in our relationship. Not because I offered the solution, but because he felt seen, heard, and understood. And from there, he was able to figure out what was best for him. Now, I've worked with families who have feared that they were losing touch with their teens, only to discover that once they shifted from control to connection, communication just opened up and that mutual respect really grew. Now, we really can't talk about parenting teens today without mentioning how the fast paced and overwhelming digital world figures into their lives. I've got 5 quick tips to help you help them navigate this stress. Set clear boundaries. So establish screen time limits and create tech-free zones in your home, like the dinner table or the bedroom. And also establish times when it's okay for the device to be used. Consistent rules help teens to balance their online time with the more important activities like sleep and face to face socializing. You also are beginning to lay the foundation for them to create their own discipline around devices and decide for themselves how devices need to fit into their lives. It's also important that you model healthy habits too. So demonstrate responsible and mindful electronics and social media use in your own life. And show teens what balanced engagement really looks like. Because, teens often mimic parental behavior. So be intentional about when you use it and how you use it, because they are paying attention, even during these years when you think that they don't want to do anything like you. They are paying attention. So also teach them privacy and online safety. Talk openly about privacy settings, what information is safe to share, and of course, the risks of oversharing personal information or connecting with strangers online. Regular conversations about this can build trust for when they actually do have some challenges. Also, discuss the importance of good online behavior and respectful use of social media and devices. Stress that they need to be kind and respectful in their online interactions, and talk about the consequences of cyberbullying and making inappropriate posts. Teach the teens to think critically about what they see and what they share on social media, emphasizing that they ought to show empathy and accountability. And also teach them to evaluate what they're seeing. Is it real? Does it make sense? Is the resource reliable? Can they trust the people who are sharing the information?
Kids up for success this school year with a quick trip online or in store at Staples. Whether it's notebooks, pens, or that special calculator on their list, Staples has everything your child needs to have a great start. I still have lots of extra school supplies on hand here at my house from when my children were younger because you could never have too many, especially when they're this affordable and easy to grab. I also use them in my business. Plus, this year, I'm also stocking backpacks for kids with parents who might need just a little bit of help this year. So click the link below to start shopping and check off every item on your student's list and get ready for the best school year yet.
Next, encourage breaks from technology and increasing real-world connection. Promote regular breaks from screens and encourage offline activities like reading, sports, hobbies, family time, and help the teens to maintain a healthy balance between digital life and their physical social connections so that their overall well-being will just be in balance. Now, for more tips on connecting with your children in the midst of social media and the ever-expanding presence of technology, why don't you grab my free guide, Connected Hearts Digital Smarts, 25 tips for connecting with your children offline. You can go to parentandpurpose.com/offscreen1. That's parentandpurpose.com/offscreen1. The thing you've got to remember is that teens today need even more compassion for what they're experiencing. They're navigating new pressures and anxieties that previous generations never dreamed of. So be the sounding board that they need. Engage in one-on-one activities that are offline and interactive, and make it a regular thing each week so you have something to look forward to. Lean in because they need you. Now, imagine the ripple effect if more parents and organizations adopted this approach. Instead of dreading the teen years, we'd see them as a vital opportunity to prepare our kids for the real world. The next generation would grow up not just with knowledge, but with emotional skills, self-discipline, resilience, and healthy mindsets. So if you're listening in hopes of surviving the teen years, I get it. Parenting isn't easy, but you have the chance today, right now, to lean in rather than checking out. You can build a relationship with your soon-to-be adult that will last a lifetime. The journey doesn't have to be a battle. It can be a bridge. So thank you so much for joining me on this episode. If today's conversation resonated with you, share it with another parent. Also, be sure to like and subscribe. Remember, you and your teen are both growing, and these years can be among the most rewarding of your parenting adventure. Until next time, stay compassionate and stay connected. And remember, it's never too late to be the parent you want to be.
We bring you this episode for the purpose of information and entertainment only. It is not the intent or purpose of the Parenting 411 podcast or Carol Maletta to provide an exhaustive reference or guide on all aspects of parenting, childcare, and family life. You are strongly encouraged to read all available information, consult medical or other appropriate professionals, and pursue all reasonable means to learn as much as possible about parenting to complement what you gain here, and then tailor the information to meet your individual needs. Yes, parenting is a serious matter, though it is not an exact science. The context and insights offered in this and every episode represent an account of knowledge and personal experiences of the host and any featured guests for the viewers' and listeners' information and consideration. The host and guests do not guarantee to our viewers or listeners any specific parenting outcomes from this episode or taking actions described here.